program with me, Mike, the PHN, and today on the Public My Concern, we'll be talking about a very interesting topic that you can't afford to miss. So today's topic, I want to talk to you on the importance of certain phone numbers that every household should have. Numbers. So I'll be talking to you about 5 important numbers that every household should have. And this information is coming to you direct because we've seen in most cases certain things that would have avoided. Now, because we don't have these phone numbers, we find ourselves into cases that we're not supposed to find ourselves into. So to start with, I want to talk about every household. There are what we call domestic emergencies, or things that an accident that can occur munganda. So what can we do at that particular time? That's why I'm talking to you on the phone numbers that every household should have. To start with, I want to talk about the first phone number that every household should have is the phone number of your neighbor. Now, in this case, what we are talking about is where a household and there's another household next, and then you don't have each other's contacts. Meaning to say, will not be able to know. Our neighbors won't be able to know. So that each one of us, we have our neighbors' contacts. Why am I saying this? There are times where the families leave their children home. They leave their children home. They leave without maybe somebody who is matured enough to take care of the kids home. So what usually happens at that particular time, these children might do something. Maybe they might start a fire in the house, or they might do something that is not even how can you do that? So when there's a number for your neighbor, it is important. It will be easier even for the neighbors to communicate to you or to communicate to other people that can be able to help. So it's important that every household has got the number for the neighbor. You need to have the number for the neighbor. And then the second number that you need to have, every household, it is the number of a nurse within the compound. Or if you don't have a nurse within the compound, I'll tell you, you need to have the number of the sister in charge at the nearest health facility. So the nearest health facility, oftentimes they have a person that is responsible for emergencies, a person that is responsible for things that to do with maybe Moisa emergency, we call it OPD. So it's important that every household has got a number of a nurse. Mufpanda mumo, you find that there are nurses, and then you don't have their number. What if something was to happen? Ni 23 hours, labor starts, maybe ni 24 hours, umwana, from nowhere, pneumonia, ambo ku afiro kupema. We at that time. So it's important that you have a number of a nurse that you might just call. A nurse can connect you to the healthy facility. A nurse can connect you to maybe the ambulance services. So it's important that we have the phone number of a nurse within the compound or at the facility. So I've talked of having the number of your neighbors, the immediate neighbors, not mwamkukwata number ya neighbor, but the neighbor just within the compound. And then the second one I've said, you need to have a number of your nurse within. And then third, I'll be talking to you on the third number that you need to have as a household, which is the number of the officer in charge. The officer in charge or any police officer within the compound. Why is it so important that each one of us has got a number of the officer in charge or the number of any officer that can assist us? It is important. Most of the times you see, literally, if it's some there's a case that has happened and then you are required to have a statement. So these police officers, they are connected to healthy facilities. One, they work, we call it into linkages, they work together. So in case mwafiro kutumina the sister in charge or a nurse, you can call the officer. For example, maybe you are attacked by criminals, you are attacked by people that you don't know. Without even them knowing, you'd have made a call, mwatumina wa officer in charge, they connect you, they help you. So it's important that every household, regardless of where you are, you need to have the number of the officer in charge or any police officer within the compound that you are staying in. It's very important. And then let's go to the fourth important phone number that we need to have in the house. The fourth important phone number that we need to have is the phone number for the firefighters. You see, we've seen so many cases of fire starting, and talking about extinguishing fire, it's not something that anyone can just do. There are people that are trained for that particular or specific duty. So the moment we have that number, it can be possible. We call the numbers, wangu, they come and assist. Most of these fires that we've seen excavating, we don't have people that can fight or extinguish those fires. So it's important that you have a number of the firefighters within or the nearest council so that they can come through and they'll help you. It's so important. So just to take you through the phone numbers that I've been talking about, I've said we need to have the number of our neighbors. I've also said we need to have the phone number of the nurse in charge or any nurse within our compound. Also talked about the police officer within the compound or the number of the officer in charge at the police station. We are talking about the nearest police station in this case. And then I've also mentioned that we need to possess a number of the firefighters within our district or within our the reachable area in this case. And then lastly, but not the least, the other number that we need to possess, Ilingi, we know Zambia is a religious country, and most of the cases in Gafyachitika, we want to call our pastor, we want to call our religious leaders, which is also important. So as every household, we need to have the phone number for our pastors or the people that we respect in terms of religion. These people, in case of anything, they talk to us, they calm us down, and they tell us, they give us hope. So in case of an emergency, you call them, they are alert, and then they are informed. They also connect you maybe to the health facility. They can connect you to the police station. They can connect you even to the firefighters. So these numbers, not to forget, these are important numbers. And every household, numbers. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, share the video so that you can share the information. It was from me, Mike. The public is my concern, working together with the media team and my crew behind, which is the Leaf Mix Media. Thank you. See you next time.